morning, here's the news at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State Governor tasked Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund on accountability, quality service delivery. President Tinubu pledges significant investment in defense industries to boost weapon production. On the foreign scene, thousands of women lead night protests after death of trainee doctor in India. And in sport, Australia's mixed martial arts star throws support behind Nigeria's Israel Adesanya ahead UFC clash in Perth. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has charged the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund (NSITF) to be transparent and accountable, as well as render quality service for the benefit of the people. The governor gave the charge when Managing Director of Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, Oluwaseun Faleye, and Senate Committee paid him a courtesy visit at Lagos House, Ikeja. Governor Sanwo-Olu said his administration has a robust insurance package in place for Lagos workforce, assured of the state government's willingness to harness the areas of collaboration with the NSITF to achieve its objectives, as well as explore the benefits of the fund for workers and Lagosians. He also noted that the retreat organized by NSITF for the legislative arm would be for the benefit of Nigerians, reiterating to commitment to encourage the fund and ensure people get the dividends of democracy for a better, sustainable and reliant nation for future generation.
To assure you and assure our new managing director that Lagos State is not just the biggest amongst its peers, also in human capital development and in areas where it puts its employers right at the center of everything that it's doing. And we always pride ourselves the best. We're happy with Mr. President that haven't signed the new minimum wage. It's for all of us subnationals to see how we take up that challenge and reflect, and see how we can, pass on the benefits to our individual staff, employers at our state level.
Earlier, Managing Director NSITF, Oluwaseun Faleye, said the legislature's initiative is to deepen stakeholders' engagement to support the trusts, hence the need for the two-day retreat themed Building a Stronger NSITF. Senator representing Plateau Central and Chairman, Senate Committee on Employment, Labour and Productivity, Dele Agadumo, said the National Assembly is committed to ensuring the NSITF performs its functions to ensure employees and employers in both public and private sectors are protected and compensated when at work in case some hazards take place.
As legislators, the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund is a product of the Act of Parliament, and laws are dynamic. From time to time, we need to sit, get back to find out how successful our MDAs are performing, and where there's need to make some changes, we make changes to increase productivity.
That was Chairman, Senate Committee on Employment, Labour and Productivity, Dele Agadumo. As part of efforts to cushion the effects of the economic hardship in the country, the Lagos State government has donated 20,000 bags of Ounje Eko to religious organizations and groups across the state. Speaking during the distribution at Adeyemi Biro Auditorium, Alausa, Ikeja, Special Advisor to the Governor on Religion Islam, Abdullahi Jebe, noted that the bags containing 10 kg of rice, 5 kg of beans and 5 kg of gari is being extended to the religious groups in the 5 divisions of the state in Ikeja, Badagry, Ikorodu, Lagos Island and Iwe.
Trying to put palliatives across board, and several units have collected their own, the CDC, CDA and several other units. This is for the religious circle of Lagos. We have the Christian and we have the Muslim. We are distributing it simultaneously.
In the same vein, Special Advisor to the Governor on Religion, Christian Adebukola Adeleke, said the distribution of 10,000 bags of the Onjeiko has started to Christian organizations and groups across the 20 local government and 37 local council development areas of the state.
And as part of the requirement that you need to submit your LASTRA number, and we also encourage them to submit their LASTRA number. Though the Ministry of Home Affairs and our office as well, we have some of their names. And those that we do not have their names, we appeal and encourage that is the requirement from government. They need to provide, and they agree.
On his part, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Home Affairs, Adewumi Ogunsanya, commended Governor Sanwo-Olu for the intervention program to support the less privileged in the state.
Important to mention that Mr. Governor set up an advisory council for this purpose. So what we are distributing today is an offshoot of what the Governor Advisory Council have done, and we are just implementing what they have.
According to him, the state has carefully taken the details of the would-be beneficiaries to ensure the palliatives get to the right people. Lagos State government says it is going to crack down hard and bring down the full weight of the law on criminal elements who are fond of attacking and vandalizing BRT buses in the state. Managing Director of the Lagos Bus Services Limited, LBSL, Idowu Oguntono, recounted the attack on one of the company's buses by hoodlums, noting that the criminals vandalized the bus and caused panic among the passengers. Oguntono stated that the bus, which was traveling from Mile 2 to Leventis, was approaching the Oriofe bus stop on the Orile axis with 35 passengers on board when a large mob suddenly emerged and swarmed the bus. He said the attackers assaulted passengers, stabbed them with sharp objects, and robbed them of their phones and other valuables. Ogunsanya reiterated the government's commitment to ensuring that those responsible for this heinous act are punished, noting that the agents of anarchy have no place in any decent society. Now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has pledged to make significant investments in the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, DICON, to ensure it achieves its mandate before 2030. The president said DICON, since its establishment, had been producing ammunition and equipment to support the armed forces and security agencies. Speaking at the 60th anniversary of DICON in Abuja, President Tinubu said the institution has become a cornerstone of Nigeria's military-industrial complex, producing ammunition and equipment that support our armed forces and security agencies. While stating that national security remained priority for his administration, President Tinubu said the insecurity bedeviling the nation require a government and society approach to address it. The Defense Headquarters says troops have been deployed across farms in the northern parts of the country, especially in the northwest and north central. According to the military high command, the deployment was to ensure the adequate protection of farmers from bandits, terrorists, and other criminal elements. Director of Defense Media Operations, Edward Buba, stated that troops deployment began with the commencement of the rainy season. Buba also said the deployment was to ensure farmers had a bumper harvest. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, along with other stakeholders, have received 149 returnees from Niger Republic. According to NEMA, the return was facilitated by the International Organization for Migration Mission in Niger Republic. It said of the 149 returnees, 2 persons were said to have sustained leg injuries. NEMA added that the charter flight comprised 87 adult males, 25 adult females, 22 children, and 15 infants. Now to foreign news. Tens of thousands of women in West Bengal state have marched through the streets in protest against the rape and murder of a trainee doctor at a state-run hospital in Kolkata last week. The Reclaim the Night march was the culmination of nearly a week of frenzied protest ignited by the brutal killing of the 31-year-old at the RG Car Medical College last Friday. Responding to calls on social media, women from all walks of life marched across Kolkata city and throughout the state. During the marches and at many gatherings near a university, theatre hall and bus terminus, they stood united, holding hands as the humid air echoed with loud and powerful chants of wanting justice. In our sports, Australian mixed martial arts star Alexander Volkanovski has thrown his support behind former two-time Ultimate Fighting Championship UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya to knock out current champion Dricos du Plessis in their title fight at UFC 305 in Perth on Saturday. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Volkanovski predicted that the Nigerian-born fighter would end the bout with a tactical finish. He recalled Adesanya's victory over Paulo Costa, expecting a similar approach against the Plessis. Adesanya has lost 2 of his past 3 fights and is seeking to reclaim the middleweight title he lost to Sean Strickland last year. That is our news at 10. Just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know the Sanwo-Olu administration generated 12,350 jobs and empowered 17,469 direct and indirect beneficiaries through the Lagos State Agro-Processing Productivity Enhancement and Livelihood Improvement Support (PILS)? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has charged the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund (NSITF) to be transparent and accountable, as well as render quality service for the benefit of the people. President Bola Tinubu has pledged to make sufficient investments in the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria (DICON) to ensure it achieves its mandates before 2030. We also told you that tens of thousands of women in West Bengal state have marched through the streets in protest against the rape and murder of a trainee doctor at a state-run hospital in Kolkata last week. And in sport, Australian mixed martial arts star Alexander Volkanovski has thrown his support behind former two-time Ultimate Fighting Championship UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya to knock out current champion Dricos du Plessis in their title fight at UFC 305 in Perth on Saturday. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adibeshi. I'm Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.